Periodic table notes. The big name to know with the periodic table is Mendeleev. It's the first one to arrange the elements in order of increasing atomic mass, which we now know isn't exactly correct. It goes by increasing atomic number, but he's often considered the father of the modern periodic table. So as you can see on here, it's based on increasing atomic number, which we know, which is the number of protons. Basically came up with the periodic law, which is just that the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number, but now that they repeat both physical and chemical property patterns. So if you remember, physical properties are things like density, um, uh, specific heat, that kind of stuff. Chemical properties: will they react with metal or an acid? Will they react with water? Will they react with air? It kind of depends on the different things. Okay, so oops, we jumped the wrong way. As we go down through here, the metals are going to be everything to the left side of the periodic table, and we're going to draw this on the periodic table here in 1 second. They're good conductors of heat and electricity. Nonmetals are everything to the right of the stairs. They're poor conductors of heat and electricity. They're just the opposite of metals. And metalloids are things that are touching the stairs, which we're going to draw on here in a second. And they just have properties of both metals and nonmetals. We're going to look at a couple of those in the lab as we go through this unit. The S blocks are everybody in group 1A or 2A, the alkali metals and the alkaline earth metals, which you can see on there. They're both highly reactive metals. The big reason why it's called the S block is their electron configurations end with an S orbital. The P block are electron configurations that end in P. They contain things like the halogens, which are highly reactive nonmetals, and the noble gases, which are sometimes called the inert gases just because their electron configurations are full, so they're not going to react with anything. You're looking at things like neon, argon, krypton, all the things that are on the right side of the periodic table. You use those when you did the shorthand electron configurations. Representative elements are all the elements in the tall columns. So the alkali metals, the alkaline earth metals, everything in the P block. Essentially, it's the S and P blocks. The reason why they're called representative is their valence electrons are represented by what number tall group they're in. And we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that as we go forward and start talking about the trends on the periodic table in the future. The transition metals are the elements in the D block, the 10 in the middle. And the intertransition metals are sometimes called the rare earth metals, and they're in the F block down on the bottom of the periodic table. So if we have a periodic table here, we're just going to go through and label a few things. So we're going to start with the stairs. Let's get this going. The stairs start right here on the left side of boron, and they just kind of go left, right, or down, sorry, right and down. And it kind of goes like that. So if you remember, looking up above, everything to the left here are metals. Everything over here are non-metals. And if we're touching the stairs, we're a metalloid, and those are sometimes called semi-metals as well. Then when you're looking at things, these two over here, and I know we did this in the coloring activity as well, this is the S block. These 6 wide over here are the P block. These 10 wide right here have 2 names. This is the D block, but this is also the transition metals. So those are transition metals. And then down here on the bottom you have the F block, which is also called the inner transition or the rare earth metals. Kind of depends on what periodic table you're looking at when you do this. Okay, so that's the general overview. The other things that we mentioned on here, this group right here are the alkali metals. These are the alkaline earth metals right there. Over here with fluorine, these guys are the halogens. And then over here you got the noble gases. So those are the big parts of the periodic table that I care about. As long as you can get the general idea of where those are on the periodic table, you're going to be okay as far as what you need to know with the structure of the periodic table.